Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So Microsoft has rolled out our optional bug fix C-release update for April 2026, which rolled out late yesterday in my part of the world on the 30th of April. And the update, if you do decide to install it, because it is optional, and just a quick reminder, I always suggest only installing optional updates if you've got an issue with your system, else ignore the update because it will be rolled out in this month, May's Patch Tuesday security update. So if you do decide to install the update, if we head to update history, here's the update KB5083631. And when the update has been applied, the OS build for Windows 11 25H2 will be 26,200.8328. And if you are running 24H2, that'll be 26,100.838. Now we get 12 new features, some of which are for enterprise environments, some of which are for consumer environments. And then we get improvements and fixes. And the new features and improvements and fixes are all rolling out gradually according to Microsoft. So you may see them straight away or you may not. So just keep that in mind. Now, the first new feature is regarding Xbox mode, which is now available on Windows 11 PCs, rolling out gradually. And I actually posted a whole video on this earlier today. So if you want more information, I'll leave that video linked. And Xbox mode is included on laptops, desktops, and tablets. And Microsoft says it's inspired by the Xbox console experience. And Xbox mode offers a streamlined full-screen interface that puts your games front and center while minimizing background distractions. So that's the first of 12 new features. Check the video out if you'd like some more information. And then the next new feature is for File Explorer. With Microsoft saying the update expands the list of archive formats that can be used in File Explorer to include UU, CPO, XAR, and NuGet packages, which I think is a nice move. And then some improvements for File Explorer. Microsoft says with this update, view and sort preferences are preserved in folders such as downloads and documents when apps launch File Explorer directly to those locations, which I also think is nice. And the update removes a white flash that could appear when opening this PC or while resizing the details pane in dark mode. Now that's actually a fix that's been rolling out for quite some time, but is listed as an improvement for File Explorer in this update. And the update improves the reliability of relevant Explorer.exe processes so they stop after closing File Explorer windows. And Explorer.exe are things like your File Explorer, your Start menu, your taskbar, and so on. So one new feature and 3 improvements for File Explorer. And then for input, there are a couple of new features. The first is you can now feel haptic feedback effects on compatible input devices when performing certain actions such as aligning objects in PowerPoint, snapping or resizing windows. These haptic signals, which basically means that that hardware will vibrate when in use, can be turned on if you're heading to your settings, Bluetooth and devices, mouse, touchpad or pen. And then if you have the relevant hardware, you'll see haptic signals on this page. And there's a new feature for voice typing where voice typing on the touch keyboard now looks simpler and more intuitive, according to Microsoft. And the next new feature is Microsoft says the Arabic 101 legacy keyboard layout is now available. And you can add it when selecting a keyboard for Arabic under Time and Language, Language and Region. And then for input, there's 1 or 2 improvements where the update improves the reliability of setting custom tools under Settings, Bluetooth and Devices wheel. The update improves the persistence of fluid dictation setting in voice typing. And the update improves the reliability of keyboard navigation for emoji panels using Windows logo key and the period key. So those are a couple of input new features and improvements that are rolling out with this update. And then the next new feature is drag tray is now called drop tray, according to Microsoft. And if you do have the feature, which I don't yet, it hasn't made its way into my region yet. But if you do have the drag tray, which is now drop tray, you'll find it under Settings, System, Multitasking. It'll be a setting on this page if it has rolled out in your region, as yet not available as yet in my part of the world. And the next new feature is that Microsoft says it's introducing agents on the taskbar, which obviously once again is hardware specific, where Windows is adding a new way to monitor your agents from the taskbar. This experience, Microsoft says, supports agents across first and third party apps, with Researcher in the Microsoft 365 Copilot app as the first adopter. And then there's a new enterprise state roaming feature called ESR for short, which can now be managed through Windows Backup to organizations policies. So that's for enterprises. And there's a new feature where the update adds support for a dynamic app removal list to the remove default Microsoft Store packages policy for Windows Enterprise and Education. And the next new feature is for printing, where the update adds a new icon to show where a printer supports Windows protected print mode in print settings. And the next new feature is for the Windows driver policy update, where the update improves Windows security by changing how the Windows kernel trusts third-party drivers. So that's taking place under the hood. And then there's a new enhanced security and performance for batch files, where administrators and application control for business policy authors now have additional control over how the system processes batch files and command prompt scripts. So as mentioned, some of these new features are for consumers and some of them are for enterprise environments. Then just to mention a bunch of improvements rolling out quickly. The update reduces unexpected errors when downloading and installing apps from the Microsoft Store. The update improves third-party driver compatibility with the MIDI srv.exe, which is an audio improvement. The update improves the reliability of loading the system tray area of the taskbar here to the bottom right. The update improves, in regards to Windows Hello, the reliability of Windows Hello Face and persistence of Windows Hello Fingerprint across upgrades. And there's two storage improvements where the update improves performance when viewing storage information for large volumes. And for this, you'll see that improvement when you head to Settings, System, Storage, Advanced Storage Settings, Disks and Volumes. So that's an improvement taking place on this page. And then the next up is delivery optimization. There's an improvement where the update improves memory usage, reduces likelihood it will use an unexpected large amount of memory, which is nice to hear. And then for displaying graphics, the update improves persistence and availability of color profile options for supported monitors. And there's a general performance improvement where the update improves the performance of launching startup apps after starting your device. And those are the apps that are listed under Settings, Apps, Startup, as you may well know. And there's a general reliability improvement where the update brings underlying changes to help improve Explorer.exe, which once again is the shell of your OS, which is the Start menu, taskbar, Explorer, and so on. Help improve Explorer.exe reliability, including at sign-in, when interacting with taskbar menus and task view, when unpinning items from File Explorer's quick access, and more. Now, those improvements, new features and fixes are all rolling out gradually. So as mentioned, you may see them, you may not. And then I just want to mention two changes and fixes taking place that are rolling out normally, where you should start seeing, if you haven't already, you should start getting and seeing the new Secure Boot certificates that Microsoft is pushing out using Windows Update. So if we head into Windows Update, We head into update history. Other updates. The Secure Boot Allowed Key Exchange KEK update certificate. If you haven't seen it already, that should start rolling out to more devices with this update for the Secure Boot Certificates update. And then there's a remote desktop known issue that's been fixed, which I think I did post on when it was a known issue, where the update addresses an issue that affects the remote desktop connection security warning dialog. The dialog could render incorrectly in multi-monitor scenarios when the monitors had different scaling sets. So guys, that's more or less what's new in KB5083631 for Windows 11, 25 and 24H2. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.